public perceptions of privatisation. Now, privatisation, if you remember, when it first started creeping up on us in the 1980s, when it sort of snuck out of Reagan's America and snuck out of Chicago University and then snuck out of Thatcher's Britain and Manchester, I think Manchester economics was another cliche that was bandied around. We were told by the likes of John Laws and other radio shock jocks that privatisation was going to get rid of those lazy council workers leaning on their shovels, and they had their focus group market-tested cliches that they roll out. I really believe that the turning point in public opinion on privatisation was Telstra. And there was really two reasons. One, people got stung by the services. They saw a massive drop-off in the services. And two, people got stung by buying the shares in the thing and seeing the shares up in price. And I really think, insofar as mounting anti-privatisation campaigns, I really do believe that the privatisation of Telstra was one of the major turning points for public perception. We know from the polls that depending on who and where and when the polls are taken, that opposition to privatisation is probably running anywhere between 80 to 85% of the community. So what we really need to do is give consideration as to how we as activists opposed to privatisation can harness that community support and make real political progress with it. And just on a lighter note, I was having a discussion with somebody at work about this, and it reminded me about, remember that show Grumpy Old Men? Okay, now one of the things that worried me about Grumpy Old Men was I used to sit there and watch it and I used to think, they're right about that. And so, yeah. Yeah, that's right, yeah. That's what worried me. That's what worried me. I can relate to that. But one thing that really struck me, I was watching one of the Grumpy Old Men one night, and he said, I hate choice. Now, we're sold the idea of privatisation, it's going to increase choice. When I listened to it, I thought, I can really relate to this because I hate choice as well. This bloke said, I don't want the electricity company phoning me up trying to sell me gas. He said, I don't want the gas company phoning me up trying to sell me water. He said, I don't want the water company phoning me up trying to sell me electricity. He said, if I want electricity, I just want to go to the electricity company and provided it's supplied in an efficient and effective manner, that's all I want. He said, I want 20 plans thrown at me. He said, if they're doing their job properly, they should already be charging me the cheapest price. They shouldn't be throwing 20 different plans at me and telling me to figure out which one's going to be cheapest for me. He said, I don't want that. And I thought, he's dead right, I don't want that either. I don't want to live in a society where I'm getting bombarded by so many choices. I'd much rather go and have coffee with friends or something than sit there and work out mobile phone plans, for God's sake. Back to the Power to the People group. Now, the Power to the People group, we are a community group that is made up of trade unions and various progressive political groups. We've got people from the left of the ALP, we've got people from the Greens, from the Socialist Alliance, we've got people from the Communist Party, Progressive Labor Party, and various church groups as well. And if I've left anybody out, I apologise. We've got Gould's books. But look, that's basically who we are. Our aim is to obviously oppose privatisation and to assist in the development where we can of opposition to privatisation at a community level. So we're looking at linking in with various other groups, Your Rights at Work groups, Labour Council, etc., in facilitating opposition to the private. We do some work with the Greens as well to facilitate opposition to privatisation, because don't need to go into it. We all know it's bad public policy, and we need to do whatever we can to oppose it. We have made some major contributions, and one of those was helping, and actually not just helping, but getting Unions New South Wales to conduct street stalling, and also assisting in that process of street stalling across some 50 electorates last year. And that was one of the things that predicated the downfall of the Emma government, because it really highlighted the opposition at a community level to privatisation. Because what we were doing then is we were giving out little cards to people in the community with their local members' contact details to make it as easy as possible. Here's your local members' details. Ring him up, fax him, email him or her, phone, do whatever you've got to do. And people did, and the message got out. And we all know what the result of that was. What do we hope for? Obviously we hope for a better society, but we certainly hope to try and stop the lunacy that is taking place in terms of public policy. And the point was made, selling off everything that's not nailed down. Well, look, I'm sorry, the selling of stuff that's nailed down as well. And we need to do whatever we can. One thing I would like to try and see is some of these corporates, if we can get some of these corporates made up, and maybe we need to raise this with Unions New South Wales, something along, some for sale signs, and just vexatiously hang them on the fence outside Parliament House with Joe Tripodi's contact details or something, crazy Joe or something.
What about sold to Wacken Harbour Centre?
Yeah, so hang one outside the Opera House or Harbour Bridge or something. Put the Harbour Bridge on eBay. I mean, they're the kinds of creative things I think we could do that would highlight public interest in his pain. Where to from here? We need to crystallise community activism. Okay, we know the public perceptions out there. We need to mobilise that. We need to come up with the most effective way of doing this possible. Now, there's a number of groups represented here tonight. Each of those groups has their own networks. We need to start combining those networks, and that's one thing that Power to the People does assist with, because we do assist in bringing those groups together, but we need to combine those networks and use the power of those networks to start mobilising in the community, building numbers, building momentum, and hopefully bringing an end to this appalling public policy debacle that we're facing. Thank you very much.